Well, hello and welcome to a new video. Today we are playing yet another game of Guess the Eyeshadow Palette. Let's go. You know the drill. I'm going to show you first the colors that I used on my eyes, and then I'm going to show you the rest of the colors available in that mystery palette. Alright, so here are the 4 shades that I used. I'm going to explain to you what I did exactly. I used this first deep brown and I used it in my outer corner. I brought it outside a very little bit and then I blended that color a little bit in the crease. I then used this shade to blend that brown even further and to bring it up a little bit and just to kind of change the color a little bit and make it more warm, because this one was a bit more cool toned that I would have hoped. I took my time really blending these. I also used this one to help blend these 2 colors together. I also used that color a little bit around here just to have something to cover my crease. I went back in with the brown to further deepen the outer corner of my eye, because as I blended those 2 together, it kind of lost the pigment and lost the depth of that brown. I also took this shade back and patted this a little bit onto my eyelid. I then went in with this metallic shade. I used my finger for this. I applied it here first, really tapped it in, made sure it was on my eye, and then for the rest, I kind of smudged it a little bit so that on the outer part of my eyelids, you can still see a bit of the metallic, but it's more toned down. And then underneath my eyes, I repeated kind of the same process, which is pretty much what I always do. And so I used the brown on the outer corner, really on my lash line, and then I smoked it out and blended it a little bit with the yellow shade, and then I used a teeny tiny bit of the metallic shade in here because I wanted just a touch of light in my inner corner. I used this pencil from Sephora. I also used a black khôl from L'Oreal that I placed in my waterline and also very closely to my lash line, and at the end here I kind of smoked it out and made sure it was well blended with the rest of the look. I then put on mascara and this is what we have. I am now going to show you the rest of the shades that are in this palette, which I didn't use today. And here there are. So you have 2 more mattes that are quite similar. This one is just a little bit deeper. And then you have 3 more metallics. So this is the part where we see if you can count or not. So this palette has 9 shades. 5 mattes and 4 metallics. Have you guessed? It is the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsession palette. This is what it looks like. So these are the shades that I used, as well as a little bit of this one and that shimmer here. That one I had never even touched. Usually whenever I would use that palette, I would really go for more of the orange shades and a bunch of metallics. This is not, in my opinion, Huda's best work. I do enjoy this palette. I have used it a little bit. I also have the green one. I have the Smoky Obsessions palette. And recently she released a bunch of Obsessions palette. The Python and Jaguar, I believe, were palettes that I fell in love with. I really want to get these. What I do love about these small palettes is the size, the fact that 9 shades, I feel like it's just perfect to give you enough variety, but yet not overwhelm you. The fact that it's small and compact, it's easy to travel with. It's really a nice format of a palette. You also have a mirror in these, which I don't really care about, to tell you the truth. I haven't even peeled the sticker off, but I know some people take it very seriously. So If you're one of these people, there is a mirror in the palette. Now, the mattes are not as pigmented and as blendable as one would hope. The brown in particular, I feel like it doesn't really swatch nor applies as deep as I would like. I found it a little bit difficult to blend these two colors together, which is why I even used another one to really mesh them all together. It's just, yeah, it's not the most blendable formula. It's not bad. I mean, I still had a good time and I appreciate the results. I also find it a little strange that those two shades are just so similar. I would get it if it was a 15-pan palette, but in a 9-pan palette, I feel like one of these could have been replaced by, I don't know, a lighter shade or an even darker one, another shimmer eventually. So yeah, that's the one thing I don't really understand about this palette, is the fact that two of these shadows are extremely similar. Now, when it comes to the metallic shades, they are gorgeous. I really think they're the best part about this palette in particular. This one is very, very special. It really doesn't look like anything in the pan, but it's actually kind of not duochrome, but it does have some weird reflects where you have some bronze and gold, and you see like a touch of more of cool reflects. I don't know if you can see that. It really, really is a beautiful shade. I didn't use it today because I wanted to stay more neutral, but it's definitely, for me, the most beautiful shade of the palette. So these Obsession palettes from Huda Beauty, from what I hear, they're kind of hit and miss. It's not the #1 palette I would recommend to you from that brand, but if there is one color story in particular that you really love, then you can go ahead and get it. You won't be super disappointed. It's not going to be, oh my god, a terrible purchase, a terrible eyeshadow palette. They're not the best, but they're nice. And like I said, I do enjoy the fact that it's a small compact. So that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my channel because it's free, so why wouldn't you? And I will see you guys next time. Bye.